The Money and Pension Service were looking for a partner. They wanted to start off by introducing a contact centre as a service into 6 partner organisations, and one of those partner organisations was Debt Free Advice.
For the last 16 years, Debt Free Advice has been helping people really struggling financially. In that time, we've helped over 300,000 families with their finances, and most of those have been coming to one of our 30 face-to-face advice centres across London. During the pandemic, we had to shut all of those advice centres overnight, but the problems of the families that we helped didn't disappear. One of the immediate things that we wanted to solve was having a single access point for all customers so we could manage the supply and demand of advice. Initially when we went out, we were just looking for a telephone line that we could do that with.
Debt Free Advice weren't unusual with their first steps into these solutions that we have. They started off relatively small scale. They quite quickly realised that the strength of our solution and maybe how that they can iterate their implementation was by using the omnichannel capability of the platform.
It quickly became apparent that we could not only have just telephone, but also web chat, WhatsApp and video chat, adding so many more channels and opportunities for customers to connect, engage and move forward on their financial journey with us.
We have a fantastic relationship with Twilio, our technology partner, who are the creators of the Flex solution, an omni-channel product for contact centres. And what Ciptex have done is extended that capability with our 3 pillars of innovation, which is called Ciptex Race. 1 being the extensions, 2 being our integrations, and 3 being our rapid deployment solution, which we call accelerators. What has set this implementation apart from any other that we've been involved in is actually the use of the Twilio technology to develop the kiosks.
So the challenge to Ciptex was, how do we replicate those drop-in sessions but make them available any time that we're open? And we went to them with a list of requirements that included that the kiosks had to be locked down, customers couldn't quit the app and go on the internet and browse things. It had to be super simple to use, all the conversations had to be recorded. Whatever tech we deployed, the cameras had to be a really high quality so the customer could hold up their paper and the advisor could see it the other way, because otherwise we're just adding more friction in the way as well. And within a few weeks, Ciptex came back with our custom app deployed on the iOS App Store, which means we could roll that out the same month.
Working alongside Debt Free Advice, we decided to start simply, and we used our standard implementation methodology, and that had the desired effect. We were live in days, not weeks, which is typical for an implementation of this size. But from that point, we agreed that we'd start iterating with additional functionality almost immediately. The project hasn't come to a stop. It continues as we add more and more functionality. And it's a true collaboration, because Debt Free Advice come to us with great ideas. We talk about it with Twilio and we enhance the solution.
From the offset, they also knew that we had really tight turnarounds. Our advice centres were closed at the time and our service was essentially shut to customers at a time that they really needed us.
The key challenge is the escalation of the service in line with COVID and the actual need to deploy the solution that we had remotely to what turned out to be over 180 staff very quickly.
Within just a few working days, we went from nothing to having a fully set up cloud-based contact centre and deployed across 180 agents remotely during lockdown. The Ciptex and Twilio solution for us has been really transformational for our service. It's meant that when we've seen a 300% increase in the number of people wanting to access our service, we've been able to respond to that and answer all those inquiries. So as a charity, like all charities, our resources are really tight. So by not increasing our headcount, our advisors can now service 5 times the amount of locations at the same time. What's been brilliant is that our platform has enabled our advisors to have minimal training because it's all on one screen. The buttons are intuitive, so we haven't had to invest days and days in training, and because there's not different tabs to switch between, we don't lose data with advisors having to copy and paste things between different systems. And we were really looking for an organisation that understood us and understood the needs of our customers. And Ciptex have really lived up to those expectations.
So what we've agreed with Debt-Free Advice is that no idea is a bad idea. So we can sit together in a room and just whiteboard ideas, throw ideas at each other, and out of it comes solutions.
Working with Ciptex and Twilio has been like having our own in-house developers. They've really understood what we needed for our agents and customers and have co-designed solutions that work for our needs. We've been delighted by everything the Ciptex and Twilio platform has enabled us to do, and we're even more excited about what comes next.